4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Now, I saw the, we saw some of the offensive, the breakdown, the offensive line, the grades and all that by PFF. But saw this one article that talks about, breaks down like all the guys who want to play. And I said, once again, let's not forget, Evan Neal didn't play. Now, he still has, he's got some room to grow, but he was our best run blocker. I mean, last season. Now, Gabriel, not Gabriel. We've he certainly got a lot better in his blocking. Now his pass protection still is a little something to be desired, but Carmen Basillo, ever since he came in last year, he's really helped Neal with his run blocking. I mean, Neal's out there sometimes. Some of the guys say if Neal gets his hands on you, it's like it's all over. He's so big and strong. It's like, game over, right? He's out there pancaking some guys. So, but he still has some work to do, with his, maybe the pass protection, but his run blocking is fantastic. And I said, not even that, but our best offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas, can he ever stay healthy? We'll have to wait and see. But, he didn't play. Right. But I did see this one article there, breaking down. So I said, okay, here we go. One of them is Joshua Ezeudu. I mean, he, man, fantastic. All right, the Giants' offensive line combinations pitched a shutout in the preseason opener, basically not giving up any sacks. I mean, 51. Actually, it was 54. I think the quarterbacks ran, I guess 3 times, I'm thinking. And the other 51 times, we threw 51 passes and not once. I think 6 hits on the quarterback, but not 1 sack. I mean, that's fantastic. So the Giants' offensive line was, wait for it, solid. Ooh. Right? Carmen Basillo. I mean, he's really seeming to work some of his magic here, right? Because let's not forget, a lot of these guys, not all, but a lot of these guys we had last year. So a lot of these guys, once again, may not make the team or they might get put on the practice squad or whatever, but a lot of these guys from, it's the second season with Carmen Basillo. So solid as in 0. Yes, you read that correctly. 0 sacks out of 51 dropbacks and only 10 quarterback pressures per Pro Football Focus. Okay, 10. The best news of all is that it didn't matter which combination the Giants had out there. I mean, it was crazy. You got guys on, as I said, Marcus Bowe was right tackle, left tackle. You had guys switching guards. It was crazy. Different centers in there. And no sacks. Granted, the play of the quarterback had something to do with the lack of sacks and sprinkling of pressures, but the offensive line's play across the board was one of the most positive developments to come before the preseason. Man, you ain't kidding. I mean, there was times, like the quarterback dropping back to pass, and he's like, he's looking, he's got time, he's looking, he's looking, he still has time. I mean, it's crazy. Let's go ahead and zero in on the individual performances, what we liked and what we didn't. So James Hudson. Now, what I didn't like about James Hudson is I think it was like as soon as he came in, he had a false start penalty, and then he had a holding penalty. Back-to-back plays. Getting to start at left tackle was Andrew Thomas. With Andrew Thomas on the pup list, Hudson played just the 1 series. And he had 2 penalties. The bad news is that he committed 2 penalties in that single possession, 1 false start and 1 holding. though the holding call on a running play was a bit iffy. Okay. Hudson certainly has this team made, as tackles don't grow on trees. He has the size and the ability to play the position at an adequate level. He lacks a nifty lower body that all good ones have. But he has the attitude too, which is good. Hudson has had a bit of a raucous summer, mixing things up physically consistently. Everyone loves feistiness in an offensive lineman. This young man has been coming to work every day with his lunch pail in hand and a chip on his shoulder. We like that and are sure the coaches do as well. Jermaine Illuminor, getting started right tackle where he played just one series. Illuminor looked sharp, nimble, and prepared. His pass blocking movement looked to be in mid-season form, but the run blocking not so much. So that's one guy I'm gonna skip over here for just a second. We're gonna go over him a little bit more on him in just a minute. Stone Forsythe, getting some second half right tackle snaps. Forsythe held up well, especially on the pass blocking. This is a very large man who can handle NFL power. He lacks a certain niftiness for sure, but we've seen much less capable backups on this roster in the last decade, and we think Forsythe would be a starter on some of those teams. Joshua Ezeudu. Did we see an improved Ezeudu manning the left tackle slot for several early snaps this week? We certainly did. Our eyes may be deceiving us, but Ezeudu appears to be a much larger human being than in his recent incarnations. His game looked bigger, too. His pass blocking was pristine while he moved adequately, getting into some of his run blocks. We realized he was facing backups out there, so it's probably not a good idea to get too excited. But the way this entire O-line blocked for the past 0 sacks has us believing that maybe, just maybe, this long-time Achilles heel has finally been fixed. John Runyon, the veteran returning from last year's season-ending shoulder injury, looked healthy enough, but he gave up an early pressure to power, which gives us pause. He played the one series and was otherwise solid and alert. Greg Van Roten, getting to start at right guard, where he's destined to start come September. Van Roten's power game was on full display as he stopped an interior pass rusher dead in his tracks. The veteran's reliability and smarts will always show up on game day, which is why he'll get the starting nod until someone younger, stronger, and better comes along. Well, it could be Evan Neal. Jake Kubas. With Evan Neal a surprise and disappointing injury-related stretch, Kubas got the bulk of the second team snaps at right guard. On Jackson Dart's second quarter touchdown throw, Kubas was beaten one-on-one and gave up a big hit on his quarterback. To be fair, was there supposed to have been an inside help from the center as it appeared? So maybe the center, maybe, you don't know. And I don't know if you'll ever know, because he did blow past the center as well, too. So maybe the center was supposed to come over there and help him out. Who knows? Kubas isn't at a point yet where he can allow miscommunications to blow up a play. His arms are too short, and he lacks a power component to his game. He gets by on his mobility and his smarts. Other than that, Kubas had a solid game, but it wasn't stellar. Aaron Stinney. We thought Stinney was the offense's best backup guard this week. We didn't spot a single miss in his play. What we did notice was his physicality coming into play on several double teams and finishing blocks. Stinney was a force out there. Jason Williams. This rookie interior lineman got some late game snaps at right guard and did not look out of place at all. Williams looked most comfortable mixing it up in the run game. His pass blocking wasn't much challenge as he was able to stay in front of his man without much difficulty. This young man has good size. We'd like to see more of him against better competition. Well, that's coming up against the Jets, right? Brian Hudson, getting some early snaps at center and then later on at right guard. This young veteran stayed on his feet well enough, but we didn't think his movement skills were great. He appears somewhat stiff in the lower body and lacks significant bulk. We like his versatility, but we're not sure he's athletic enough at this point in his development. John Michael Schmitz. The team's incumbent starter at center looked the part of a starting NFL center in his one series this week, a marked improvement over the play last season. He moved very well with improved balance, and he seemed a bit bigger and stronger. We want to see a larger sample size, but suffice it to say, Schmitz looked worlds ahead of where he was last year. Austin Schlottman. Getting most of the backup snaps at center, Schlottman was manhandled on several snaps and otherwise did not flash with his movements or athleticism. This veteran is backup insurance for the roster. His smarts and experience in the league are pluses. But with Greg Van Roten able to play center, Schlottman might just have an uphill battle to stay on this roster. Well, I mean, maybe he might wind up making the practice squad. Jimmy Morrissey. That's why Greg Van Roten is so so important. Greg Van Roten can play all the three interior offensive line positions. Jimmy Morrissey, another youngish veteran at center. Morrissey is 27 to Schlottman's 30. This player is also backup insurance. Morrissey played the entire fourth quarter over the ball and didn't make any mistakes. However, he also did little to impress other than just get in the defender's way. So, now, and once again, all those things, you have to keep all that stuff in mind, right? Because, a lot of these guys who were getting these later, third quarter reps, fourth quarter reps, if they put on, you certainly don't want to see them do bad, but you also got to keep in mind, once again, it's preseason, and the guys getting in there in fourth quarter reps, they're going up against like third teamers. Some of these guys on the other team won't even make the team, right? So, that's why it's very important for these guys to look good. I mean, we had guys out there, getting fourth quarter reps, and they were getting blown away. I mean, that's a very bad sign.